Oh, that's a tasty little morsel. How's it going? Welcome back to another great video with your boy, the Savior. Welcome. Today, I'm just going to give you a quick review of Baldurs Gate 3 before I go deep diving, before I go spelunking into this video, okay? Before we talk about Baldurs Gate 3 review, I quickly want to preface that this video is Baldurs Gate 3 full version review, okay? It's based on the full version that has just come out, so I hope you do enjoy this video. I can't show you all of the gameplay, so there might be some early access gameplay in this, but pretty much it's now, on par with what's actually on release. So I hope you enjoy this Baldurs Gate 3 full version review, and let's just go. Let's dive into it. Trying to give you accurate information so you don't have to do the research, so you don't have to go diving, because we cannot trust the gaming industry. That's why I do my reviews early, based on impressions and research that I've done and my hands-on experience, because we just don't know what we're going to get with publishers nowadays or game developers. A lot of it is just marketing BS, false gameplay, and just some dirty practices that exist nowadays. But basically, you don't need to play the other Baldur's Gate games to enjoy this, okay? This is for fresh players, and also it's a great introduction for those interested in D&D but who haven't played it, or perhaps you don't have any friends, and it's based on Dungeons & Dragons version 5, so it's a little bit more stripped back, a little bit more simplified, but for new people, they're not going to care. And personally, I've never played D&D properly, and there's still a lot of systems at play with this game. I mean, this is a massive RPG, so of course you can't expect to learn everything. There is a steep learning curve, and the combat here is actually very difficult and challenging. And the next thing is that combat has changed from previous games. This is no longer, kind of real-time combat. This is turn-based combat, and that might be a positive, that might be a negative for some, so it just depends on your personal preference. So yes, the environmental interactions here are just far more fleshed out, and it's really cool because you can just feel the sense of exploration and wonder, which I absolutely love. And having skill checks based around exploration is just a nice way, because it makes you feel like your character actually matters. Now, another positive is the graphics. Like I said in many reviews before, I don't care about graphics. Give me art style over graphics any day, but Baldur's Gate 3 has both, which is really great to see, because the animations and everything on offer here is just well done. When you have these one-to-one conversations, it just feels well done, because the writing is on point here. It's actually funny. It's not just the generic kind of dead face NPC that we're used to, and you even have some pretty wacky and some interesting romance options if you're into that kind of beastie action, I guess. It's a little bit out there, but I'm sure some people will enjoy it. But you do feel, a connection with these characters, and over time your relationship will change based on your decisions and, basically the choices that you make throughout the game. And this is a true RPG, 100%, and like I said, it does still pay homage to the D&D formula, because you do have to roll dices to perform certain actions, and it's not just a linear perk tree path of progression. Now, the only other negative for this Baldur's Gate 3 full version review, I would say, is there are still some animation glitches, some sound bugs that they haven't patched out. I've only tried some of the early game from, before, so I hope that gets sorted out. But so far, there are still some issues. But overall, I think Baldur's Gate 3 is, a special RPG, and it's for those people who really want to dive into a rich world space and interesting characters, interesting stories. I mean, one quest can have so many different outcomes, and they're all, unique and interesting ideas, and that's just something that we don't get in the gaming industry much anymore. But I think it's a good thing this releases before Starfield. But at the same time, this type of RPG and like Starfield, they're very different types of games. So I'm glad that now we have like the pinnacle of both hopefully coming out. You know, it's just a way for these big platforms like Xbox and PlayStation to make more money, to sell more consoles. But it's so sad because I absolutely love the days of split screen co-op, local co-op. Of course, it's not really a thing on PC, but console gaming with split screen, you know, that's something just amazing. And there is going to be split screen for Baldurs Gate 3 on Xbox and PlayStation. And we truly need that experience of connection with actually being with someone playing the game, you know, being physical, because everything's so separated now, everything's so digital by design, and it's just so nice to have that analog gaming experience back. And it's good to know that a developer cares about that and is trying to implement it in their games. So yeah, that's just another net positive, I would say. And of course the music is, you know, just a nice backtrack for this type of fantasy. You know, it's not dark fantasy, it's pretty high fantasy. I wouldn't say that the soundtrack is as captivating as something like from Skyrim, but it is very nice and well done, and it has that high fantasy element that just makes you feel invested and hooked in the game. But you know, there are just so many details to cover, but as this is a quick overview, I would say that Baldur's Gate 3 is one of the best RPGs to come out. It's not going to be for everyone, it's turn-based combat, it's, you know, isometric, but with Baldur's Gate 3, don't let that put you off, because there's a lot of layers to this game, and there's a lot of verticality to the level and the level design themselves, and you know, each location feels so detailed and well put together. And the best thing about this is the consequences actually matter. You know, the way you build your character, the way you interact with other NPCs based on what you've done before and stuff like that, that all matters, and that's what makes this game feel good, in my opinion. So that is my Baldur's Gate 3 full version review. I think it's a good game, and it's definitely worth checking out. And if you did enjoy this video, please do consider subscribing and supporting me by checking out my music on Spotify. I make electronic synth music. I'm trying really hard now to invest in this channel, so I would appreciate it if you support me, perhaps even join as a member or drop a donation. That would be great. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Pop it.
Few mortals ever glimpse what you're about to see. But don't be alarmed. I'm here with you. Now, open your eyes.
You are the chosen one.